One day, your adult child is going to evaluate your performance as a parent. Will you be able to handle it? Let's chit chat. One day, your child is going to grow into an adult. And when they become an adult, they are going to feel emboldened. They are going to let you know what they think about you as a parent. When this moment arrives, it is either going to be a great moment or it's going to be a not so great moment. They're going to let you know if they think that you failed them or if you were there to support them. This time usually occurs once the child is an adult and they have moved out of the home. And once they have moved out of the home, and if they are independent, they are beginning the process of finding their way in the world, and they are being met with all of the different challenges that are going to be thrown at them. And it is in those moments when your child will have an epiphany, and they are going to start to reflect upon the way that you raised them. And that is the moment in which they could possibly give you your evaluation. They're going to let you know if they think you failed them, if there is something more that they feel that you could have taught them, if there was anything that you could have done differently, if they have any type of harm or repercussion from your parenting. This is usually the time when kids start to get a little bit grateful for the discipline that they received. Discipline is a tricky thing. When they're getting the discipline, of course, no one likes it. But when you are an adult and you are functioning out in society and you understand how that discipline comes into play, it brings about a sense of gratitude. And those of us that got discipline from our parents and later on went back and thanked our parents for that discipline, you understand what I mean. If indeed you do not get a positive report from your child, it's probably going to be concerning one of the items that I have listed on this list. Did you spend time building trust with your child? Building trust with your child is an important task, and it is a task that begins from the moment that they are born. But it goes beyond feeding the child and giving them a place to stay. It also entails being there for them, and they know that you are there for them. And they know that if they don't have anybody else in the world, they have you. And no matter what happens and no matter what goes right or no matter what goes wrong, you are there for them. That is trust. Is your child able to have a discussion with you and everybody in the family? Does it know about the discussion that you and your child have? Does the whole extended family need to know that the child is going through something negative or some type of challenge in their life that just like any other individual they've had to overcome? Can the child sit down and have a discussion with you about things that they know that you wouldn't appreciate, but they know that you will be willing to be open and hear what they have to say and listen to them and provide helpful feedback? Did you teach your children the lessons of life? Did you teach your child how to go out and earn, or did you hand them everything? Did you teach your child ethics and morals? Did you help your child build character? Did you prepare them for what was coming? Did you teach them that the world was their oyster and everything was going to go their way? Or did you teach them that life is going to present its own set of challenges that they're going to have to overcome one day? Did you teach them that life was a bowl of cherries and it was just all easy and fun? Or did you teach your child that there are good days, there are bad days, there are in-between days, and then there's just going to be some days where you just don't know, but you just got to have a little bit of faith to get through it? Did you teach your child that you are the only thing that they're ever going to need in this life? Or did you teach your child that they need to learn how to lean on the Father, the Son, and that you don't have all ability? And even though you love them beyond measure, you will never be able to love them more than their Father in heaven. Did you teach your children consequences? Did you teach your children that they could do whatever they want to do and nobody is going to do anything about it? And if they say anything to your child, it's going to be a problem? Or did you teach your child that with every decision, there is a consequence and that you're going to live with every single choice that you make? And that some of those choices and some of those consequences are going to take a lifetime for you to get over them, if ever you do. Did you teach your child that they should be their own individual person? And it is of most importance that they do not follow every single individual group trend that's out here in the world, because those trends can and will lead them astray? Or did you teach them to just be cool and do whatever they need to do to fit in? And that is better to have a great appearance than to actually have true joy, love, and peace deep down inside. These are the lessons of life that some of us choose to impart into our kids, because we know that these lessons are the lessons that are hard to learn, but once gained, the child will have them with them for the rest of their life, and that wisdom will give them guidance through all of their days. When we are raising our children, sometimes it is so difficult and it is so hard. I have seen some days personally myself where I have just wanted to, and it can be so hard sometimes. And it is a job that seems like it goes on for so long. It seems like it's never ending. Those 18 years that it takes for a child to go through all of the levels of high school and to go to college are some of the most challenging years that an individual will ever face. And it is for this reason alone that some people opt to not ever raise kids. It is definitely challenging. And even more so for those who are not prepared and who just enter into being a parent because they had no choice, or because the circumstances predicted that that was going to be the hand that was dealt to them. And even if you are a parent that sat down and planned it down to the last minute, that does not mean that it's going to be any easier for you. Parenting is hard. You are taking an individual that has absolutely no godly idea what it is you are talking about. They only see what's in front of them, and they have no idea of what is down the road. And as you try to impart into your child what's down the road, it can get a little hard for them because they want to focus on the right here and right now. So then you're faced with the challenge of trying to steer a child that does not want to go where you're trying to steer them. And you're trying to get them to see what they can't see. And then if we miss key years, the most important years during the times where we're supposed to put the most into them, it's possible that they're going to live with that consequence for the rest of their lives. When you get this grade from your child, and even if it's not the grade that you would like to have received, and even if you disagree with the grade that the child feels that you deserve, if the evaluation is unfair, Before you get upset, it's important that you take a step back and sit down and take some time to reflect. And when you do this reflection, you should reflect on whether or not if what the child believes happened. And if it's not accurate. If you disagree with your child's evaluation, there's nothing wrong with sitting down and having a conference with your child. Because in the process of having this conference with your child, you will have the ability to explain some things and have a grown-up talk with your child. This will probably work better than just disregarding what the child has to say and allowing a art to fester in their hearts, and they have an art against you. I would suggest having a discussion with that child immediately. Sometimes you just have to stand on it. If you know deep down inside of you that you did the best that you could, and everything that you did was done with good intentions, then it's really not much that you can do, but it wouldn't hurt still to sit and have the conference with your child. We don't want an art to fester, because that art can affect the rest of that adult child's life. And even though they are adults and they are out on their own, they still need you. They just need you in a different way. They don't need you to provide shelter and food and clothing, but they still need you for support. They still need you to be there for them. They still need to know that they can trust you, and they still need to know that you are the person that is there for them. If you get a good grade, it's time to celebrate. This is the time to give yourself a pat on the back. If your child walks away from their childhood and they enter into adulthood and they feel as if they are prepared and they are ready for the world, that is one of the greatest accomplishments of any parent. And it will make you feel as if all of the sacrifices that you've made, all of the decisions that you have made, even when the child didn't agree with those decisions, they were all worth it. Because even though it came late, the child does realize why you did what you did. And then they become thankful for everything that you've done. But if you haven't gotten that grade yet, beware, because that grade is coming. Your child is going to let you know if you failed them or if you adequately prepared them. I guarantee you it is going to happen. Thank you for watching. If you would, like and subscribe to the channel.